Hi, and welcome to How to Uncover and Overcome Self-Sabotage. I'm Andrea, the Dominant Mindset Coach, and I used to be a dominatrix for 12 years, and now I'm a confidence coach. And I love talking about self-sabotage because it is the one thing that can come in and just undo all of my good work. And I'm here with Yannick.
Hi, I'm Yannick. I'm known as the Naked Coach on social media. I'm a confidence and mindset coach, and I'm fascinated with self-sabotage. So why do we do it? How do we notice it? How do we overcome it?
Amazing. And what are we going to be covering this week, Yannick?
So this week, we're going to talk about the pleaser.
Ooh. So like people pleasing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep. So what is people pleasing about? What is that?
So people pleasing, basically, it's indirectly trying to gain acceptance, affection by helping others, pleasing them, rescuing them, or flattering. And basically, oftentimes the individual who is the people pleaser will lose sight of their own needs and can become resentful as a result.
So is there any upside to being the pleaser?
So just like we mentioned, like in previous episodes, Andrea, a lot of these saboteurs, actually all of these saboteurs were created based on an individual's strength. And it's basically, it's almost like it's the dark side of a strength if it's taken sort of like to the extreme. So some of the strengths of people who score high as a people pleaser, they tend to be very empathic. They tend to be loving and giving individuals. Often they're tuned into others' feelings and needs. They're typically very self-aware emotionally and tend to score very high on the emotional intelligence charts.
Okay, and what are some of the telltale signs, like the characteristics of a people pleaser?
So some of the characteristics basically has a strong need to be liked by people and attempts to earn it by helping, pleasing, rescuing, and flattering them. Needs to be frequently reassured by others about that they're accepted, can't express their own needs open and directly. And so will do so indirectly by having people feel obligated to reciprocity of care. There you go. And no, we're not starting over into the outtakes.
Amazing. And so like, what goes through the mind of a people pleaser or a pleaser? What are some of the thoughts that someone would have?
So some of the thoughts is, well, you know what? Gee, darn it. Like, to be a good person, like I really should put the needs of others ahead of my own. And it really bothers me when people don't notice everything that I've done for them. And people can be so selfish and ungrateful. I give way too much, and I don't think of myself enough, and I can make anyone like me. And you know what? Like, if I don't rescue this person, I mean, like, who will? I'm
okay.
Yeah.
And how does that make them feel?
So, you know what? For most of these individuals, basically expressing their own needs, they'll feel very, very selfish. They are also worried that insisting on having their needs met will drive other people away. And interestingly enough, on the flip side of that, they'll actually be resentful because when people don't, because they'll feel taken for granted. So yeah, so it's almost like it's a double-edged sword. It's like, oh, it's like they feel the need to, but then when it's not recognized, they feel taken advantage of.
Okay. And so what are some of the things that keep this going, that helps them to justify this behavior?
So here's the interesting part. So the saboteur will basically whisper in their ear, I help others selflessly and don't expect anything in return. And the world would be a better place if everybody were like me.
Okay. Wow. How did it start? What was it that sparked this off in people who are pleasers?
So the original survival function of the pleaser is that they try to earn the attention and acceptance through helping others. So this is an indirect attempt to have their own emotional needs met. It's fed by two assumptions. Assumption number one is that I must put others' needs ahead of my own. And assumption number two is that I must give love and affection in order to get any back. And effectively, it's almost like I must earn it. So think of it a little bit like, I know most of us haven't been on a plane in a long time, but like security, sort of like before the flight takes off, like you always basically get through like a couple of minutes of like, oh, here are some of the security features of this airplane. And by the way, and the flight attendant always says, in the event that we lose pressure in the cabin, put the mask on first.
Okay.
Well, this is a situation where it's like they would literally put the mask on like everybody else on the plane at their own detriment. So if that's like a pure example of like how a pleaser might think.
Oh, okay. And then they get resentful over it.
And then what would happen is that like they literally like would be gasping for air, and then in their minds like it would be like I can't believe these people, like none of them actually tried to put a mask on me.
It's wild, isn't it? It's like, it's a bit like, so yesterday I was looking for my phone, and I was going about the whole entire house looking everywhere for it, and I couldn't find it. And I was starting to get impatient, and I was like, why can't I find this? Where have I put it? I've put it down somewhere. And I turned, and Andy was in, and I turned, and I'm like, where's my phone? What have I done with my phone? And he's like, it's in your back pocket. And it's like, I had the answer in my back pocket the whole time. And I'm just getting so annoyed, but I wasn't saying it until I actually said to him, where's my phone? I can't find my phone, because he's watching me walking about room to room to room, just getting more and more annoyed. And I'm like, where's my phone? And then I found it, and he's like, it's in your back pocket. And it's that kind of reminds me of just how you're describing the pleaser. Like everything they need is right there, but they can't see it. You know, they've got, all they have to do is put their own mask on first, then you cut out the resentment, you cut out the anger, you cut out any of that negative experience of life. Like, so exactly. Yeah, that's interesting.
Exactly. It's literally, it's basically doing something for somebody else, but underlying, you expect something. Get out of the goodness of your heart at this point, right? You're not doing it for all reasons. You're doing it with a motive. And now when that motive doesn't get met, you're pissed off at the other person who never asked you for this to begin with. So
yeah. And do you think that so that sounds a bit like me in previous relationships, where I've always went for a project. I want to fix them. I want to make them better. I want to do this and that. And then I don't get anything back. And I'm like, and then they're like, I didn't want you to do anything. Do you do that too?
Yeah, I've been guilty of dating projects. So It's like, oh, like, and I don't even necessarily think that I was aware that I was doing that. But I mean, looking back now, clearly. But yeah, at the time, it's like, oh, it's like, let me help this person. And then once I help them, then I'll be worthy of like their love. Yeah.
And they aren't even a project. They don't even present as a project most of the time. I just turn them into one. I'll find something. I'll find something that I can go and work on. And then I'll be like, right, cool, now we can. And by that point, they're like, no. So yeah, interesting. So I'm excited to talk about this on Friday. And I think a lot of people will resonate with this. I really do. I agree. Really do. So Friday we have a Clubhouse chat. It's a Q&A on Clubhouse, and it's at 7 p.m. UK. 6 p.m. UK time.
New time.
Okay, 6 p.m. UK time. And it will be on Clubhouse. You'll find the links within the description, so you'll be able to find it there. We'd really love for you to come along to that and just ask as many questions as you need to. We also have a Facebook group, which I would urge you to join, because this is where we put extra coaching exercises and little nuggets and things into. And that is how to uncover and overcome self-sabotage. Now, we have one on Facebook, or we have a LinkedIn group as well, if LinkedIn is more your platform and you're not a Facebooky person. We also have we have these videos which you can like and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss anything. The last thing that you want is a big pile of videos to go and watch. So make sure that you catch this every single Thursday at noon. So is there anything else that I need to add to this?
No. So Clubhouse chat, new time at 6 p.m. on Fridays. And otherwise, no. All the links to the assessment and to Clubhouse and all that stuff will be in the description.
Yeah.
And please come join us, do the assessment, bring your results, and let's see how we can help you get clear on these sabotage tactics and how to overcome them.
Excellent. Right. Cool.